We are on um, part 7 of my East 3D Gecko Core XY printer build. I believe I am done with all the mechanical parts, yay, and now I'm going to move on to the electronics. I have to admit, this is very daunting looking. It's got just the board with basically where everything goes. It's very daunting looking, but I don't think it's going to be possible or that much trouble. It's just more scary looking. I do have to admit, the one area that I'm really worried about is how I'm going to run the cables for I think it's probably the X stop, because this has to move back and forth, plus up and down, plus forward and back, and still reach the end piece. Though I'm wondering if these are different. I think these are different lengths, and I think I may have put the Z on the X and the X. So this is that. Yeah, it's much longer. There's no need for that to be longer. So I guess I'm not done with mechanical, because I didn't notice that these end stops were of different lengths. And I thought all the end stops were the same. And I'll admit, I could be wrong. These could be the same length, but I just don't think they are. Let's see, I'm getting a little bit of a frame drop, but not that many, I don't think. So it's showing about 3.5%. I guess one other thing I need to do still is tighten down the Z-axis stepper motor as well. Let's just do one quick sanity check here. Let's see if these are the same lengths. These look like they're about the same lengths. Okay. I guess I could check this too since I'm here. Oh, these are looking like they're... No, this one is shorter by a bit. Okay, good. I'm not completely losing my mind. That is a good sign. So I do wish I would have noticed this last night, but I was getting kind of tired. It's probably one of the good reasons not to build while you're tired as all heck. But as time goes on, you start getting a little impatient. You start getting to the point where you really want to be done. You really want to start trying the printer out and getting it up and working. That, my friends, is when mistakes are made. And my only excuse for dropping things all the time is just because I've got butterfingers. Drop frame percentages going down. I like to see that. Yeah, see, there's the end of that. There's still another several inches on the end of that other one. Excuse me. Oh, crap. There we go. That's back on now. Let us see. Oh, whoops, wrong one. Let's just check this one more time. I think they're close enough. Trying to reduce a little bit of the coils on this. That's actually kind of annoying. So I still have not found the other bolt that's supposed to go with this. I will look more after this is kind of put together, because I'm pretty sure that with just the one in place, it will activate properly. At least that's what I'm hoping for. And then I can go back and get that fixed properly later once I get it, working, because that's where I'm at now. I'm so close that I can just about taste it. So this printer ended up showing up a week ago today for me. I talked a little bit to Che about it. It sounded like he was interested in sending one to me to put together for review. And then just one day it kind of magically appeared, so it's kind of exciting. I thought it might be on the way, but I wasn't 100% sure, so I'm appreciative of this opportunity. Oh boy. So I could be wrong about just needing one. Okay. As you can see, I actually did a little bit of cleanup after last night. Actually, I did it just before we started here. Let's see if I have any. This may be the right size screw. Well, maybe not. Let's see. Not too long. So I don't know if those are extra parts or not, but I do have some more. They're not quite, they're a little long. This seems to be a very, very specific piece that's needed. So start taking the wires over here. This stuff's gonna have next. Okay. It looks like, unfortunately, I do not have that piece, but I'm gonna steal one out of here, and I think, hoping that just having this backed out a little bit won't cause any problems, and will still hold it in place properly. So let's see. Give me 1 second. Wife just came in. Just gonna pause the audio. Maybe. And audio's back. I'm still trying to figure out what to do. I've got, don't look like any of my extras are gonna fit very well there either. Let's see what other screws I may have. Bumping around. I may be lucky enough that one of these will actually fit what's needed. Wouldn't that be a miracle? Let's let this down. Actually, let's not let this down. Then it sits on the Z stop. Let's put both sides. I don't know that I have anything that's small. There's an extremely small chance this could be small enough. Let us see. No, I don't think so. Those other ones weren't. Let's try something else. That will go through. Hold it in place as I tighten it. This may just work. It looks like it will. Okay. At least until I can get that one screw. And like I said, there's a good chance it fell off and I never noticed. So, I would not hold that against the company whatsoever. Because overall, I actually do have, looks like some parts left over here. I'm just going to put these in a different bag. just in case, again, just trying to keep them separated. This goes into the settings, then go back to the installation. But it doesn't show where these go that I've seen. They're 90-degree anchors, so I can imagine they go either up here or, they go on any of these corners. But I'm not sure which ones. I may actually put those on the top because I do have a bag full of more that I can probably put on the bottom and make sure that this thing can survive any kind of rumble. At least, that's a good theory. Okay. So now I have all sorts of cables here that I'm not really sure what all of them go to. These are obvious. Those two are obvious ones. So let's see how this does. I'm going to set it on its side. This thing always is very heavy. A little bit awkward to move around. There we go. So here is the bottom. My intent is for this to show the bottom. There we go. So I've got these cables. Just give me a second. I'm going to go get some more. Actually, I think if I go up and over, like so, I can keep these out of the way. Now it's telling me yellow for ground. And this power supply looks different than that. I thought that I had my old screwdriver here. I guess I don't. Let's see if this will work. Okay, so I want ground first. This will be this one here. Yellow cable will go to it. Okay, Kevin, let's not do that anymore. Okay. Now in, looks like in is going to be the black wire. And I don't have a black wire. Gotta love that. I do have a red for L. That would be the top one. And let's assume, I hate assuming. God, I hate assuming. Blue is the last one. Try plugging it in and seeing if it will fire up now. So that I did not like. Okay. Let's have a look. Let's have another look at this. I'm gonna just shut it going in there. Okay. So I think this going to ground is correct. I'm pretty sure. Let's see if there's anything on Great Google on how to do this. I know that Googling during a live broadcast is probably... oh, sorry, I just saw your chat in here. No, it's not my first printer build. I do have a TiVo Tarantula over here. That was my first printer build, basically from a kit. This one I chose because when it came out, I know that the guy who designed it has some relationship to the TiVo company, and I do like their printers, and I know that this guy, Che Chin, I believe he designed at least some, if not a large number of the TiVo printers. So I'm just so that was the reason why I was interested in this. I also like the idea of a Core XY because it's a it seems to be a more solid printer versus like a Cartesian when you've got that center piece that can wave. This one has 4 corners that support it basically. So that's the reason why I'm going for these. Or that's the reason why I was interested in this. And this is actually sent to me as a review unit to put together, do a live build, and then once I've got it built, then I will work on it to get it tuned in better and share my results through my website, which is Maker Fun 3D, to try and just try and help others make this printer better and make it work better for them, and not have as many of the weird issues that I've had. So that's the reason why that's the reason why I'm putting this together right now, and the reason why it was sent to me. So I'm going to Google really quick this power switch. I've never actually used one before like this because my TiVo is wired directly into the into the power plug, though I have it plugged into a power strip so that I can activate it on and off that way. And I do actually have a switch very similar to this that I bought, and I think I bought it on Amazon. So I'm going to see if they have this. They have instructions just so that I can sanity check it. Okay. Oh, this is a related video. That's not what I want. I wish that this showed me how it's supposed to look. Looks like there's a video one, a YouTube video. See, yeah, I know almost nothing about the Folder Tech FT5. I would like to get a Delta eventually too. Those just look really cool. I really don't know much about them. The Tarantula is a Prusa i3 clone as well. So that's what I'm used to, and it's kind of nice to do something a little different. Okay. So this is the inside to here. Yep, that's ground, so that's correct. Then that's there. So I think this is wired to the switch, the light always being on. Okay, so if I go to the bottom here, and if I assume this is black, Yeah. So if I assume this is the one on the outside is this. This goes to the one outside, and inside to inside. Okay. Okay, he has a photo here. So this is the ground, and both of these go to the power supply. It looks like blue is black, red is white on that. And this. This is weird. I don't know if this is built the same. So yeah, so that side goes there. So the opposite side, it should be this one goes to this one. Let's try this. There we go. Let's see if this works any better. Because it looks like this video that I'm looking at. I will provide a link to this video if anybody wants, if anybody else has problems at this point in the build as well. Let's see. We have power. I can hear something, but it doesn't look like the fan is going. Where's my phone at? There it is. I'm just going to use the flashlight here just to see in. Oh, I can actually feel air moving now. Oh, the fan is on. So it looks like the power supply is functional. That's what I like to see. There we go. Okay, back to the Twitch channel. Sorry about that. So I don't remember what the print area offhand is on this. Let me see if I can look really quick. Here we go. Build volume is 310 by 300 by 300. So this is on my side, or this is the site that I run. It's Maker Fun 3D. East 3D is the collection of all of the, basically the category East 3D geckos. So anything I write about the geckos will show up in that section there. So if you want to have a look at it, that's what it looks like. Like I said, this is a Core XY style printer. It's actually a pretty nice build. It's very clean, and I just like the look. It's got a nice clean feel to it that a lot of printers don't exactly have this nice clean feel to them. Oh my God, I'm looking at the wrong spot. Okay. So I want to show the bottom of this, though. You know what? This is not going to look. Well, this is not going to work right. Oh, what is that plugged into? I think that's plugged into my daughter's computer, so I can unplug that, I hope. There we go. Nice thing about having this in my photo studio is that I have a couple extra lights, though that is horribly painful to my face. As you can see, I am like completely blown out here, but this allows you, the viewers, to see inside of here. I may actually increase that. So let's see if that, I think that'll increase on, I'm hoping this will increase it. Yeah, there we go. So you can see better in the stream. There we go. So now you can kind of, now you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. The video that I found actually shows this wired a little different than how they wired it. And where's switch? There it is. Here's that video on how to wire this switch. Okay, so we now have, I believe, a functional power supply. Now let's get all the other pieces and parts here hooked up across it. Okay. So I've got both sets of instructions because they are, I don't know if they are slightly different. There is some extra pieces and parts. So I have to install some extra heat sinks. So thinking A and B, yeah. Okay. And then this is going to go here. So it's telling me not to put this on this way, but to put it on this way. And it's saying to do A on 1 and 2. So the first two, but which one are those? So 1 and 2 is next to the power, it looks like. Power plug. So these are going to be 3, 4. 1 and 2 will be the front two. Okay. Looks like these go like so, right in that gap. So basically what this is showing me is that this here is where it plugs into the power right there. And then the first two, the closest ones are 3 and 4. Actually, I need to make sure I'm doing this right. So 3 and 4 will use heatsink B, which is the small ones. And number 1 and 2, which are these, actually, no, I screwed up. Sorry. Okay, here's the power plug, here's the power plug. The two closest are 3 and 4, so that's these two. The two furthest away, which are these two, are going to use are 1 and 2, and they're going to use heatsink K. So that's what I originally thought. Okay, that's the reason why I thought that. That could have been bad in rethinking that. That's why it's good to measure and remeasure, kind of thing. Oops. Okay. So opposite of that is 1 and 2. 1 and 2 uses A, and this is A. Okay. Just double checking and double checking again, because I don't want to mess this up. And let's put the next one in. Okay. That will go right there. And now for the little ones. These are going to go in the center, it looks like. Right there. Right on top of the chip. And I'm lining the fins up the same. All of these. I'll have a north-south orientation here. Okay. So we got that. Main board cooling fan. That, I believe, would be this little guy. And this is going to go next to the power plug. Oh, no, it's because of the bottom. I get it now. So this makes more sense. So positive is going to go inward on this bottom set here. Oh yeah, and hey, look, even that's labeled. It shows red and black. It doesn't fit great. Slide on all that. So if this connector was wired the opposite way, this would be no problem. But because it's wired the way it is, it's actually a little more difficult to get this to slide in. There we go. There we go. Okay. So that's in. I'm just looking at pieces and parts on the board. I think the Z limiter is probably going to be the easiest one to plug in, so I don't have to worry too much about it yet. Minimum position switch, max. This is kind of odd how they've got this labeled. And I just found a spot that I kind of messed up on. I did not see something in the black and white. So on this board, it's not really telling me exactly where the pieces go. Well, I could maybe use these. Maybe I'll come back to that. Because I can do the stepping motors while I'm here. This is just kind of weird how it's... so in the manual, this is what I'm looking at right here. And it shows min position switch, max position switch, and that one doesn't show anything. It shows blue, red, and yellow, and I'm wondering if that blue, red, or yellow tells me anything, and I don't know what it's telling me on those colors on the limit switches. I don't really see any other cables colored like that anywhere else. I think I may have to look up the Lurcher board to find out where the limit switches go. Okay, so these I believe are really long. Yeah, these are pretty long cables, so I don't think this is going to be the inside one. Let's see. So I've got the hot end out here still. I've got the limit switches. I need... Oh, here we go. This is what I'm looking for, I think. Here's another one for the stepper motors. Let's see. Let's see the length difference here. So yeah, this one's really long. And then so I'm guessing these two shorter ones will probably be No. Oh, so I'm guessing these are going to probably be the two X and Y axis. Thinking this might be the extruder. And I'm thinking this little one is going to be the Z-axis one. There's not going to be a lot of room here, it looks like. Ew. Looks like this goes in this direction. So one end has a bunch of pins, the other one has the standard 4 pins. So this is the Z. So it's going to be this one right here. Hey, look, it says Z motor even. Gotta love that. Gotta love it. Okay. Not that way. Okay. So we've got the Z. Now, let's run these two. Something hit my foot. There we go. And I have absolutely no idea which motor that is. Let's see. I may have to go through here and take a Sharpie and write down what the motors are. Okay. Not finding it offhand. So let's have a look at this belt configuration. Okay, so this belt I'm scoring up my poor table really good here. Have to admit, this is my first time with the Core XY, so it's a little different to how I'm used to thinking with a Cartesian style printer. It's just a little different all the way around. I could just plug them in and hope for the best, which I think I may do. I will do that. Plug it in and hope for the best. And if, I'm moving it on the x-axis and moves on the y, I guess I will just swap them. I think that may be the simplest thing to do at this point. Actually, I want this. Okay. Ah. So the x-axis and the y-axis are the furthest from here. Okay. And that leaves this one, which should be the E. Yep, the extruder one. I really have no idea how I'm going to wire that up, the other end. Actually, we don't know how I'm going to do a lot of this wiring here. The Cartesian, it seems to be a lot simpler than with this. Okay. So I really want to keep this out of the way. If I actually ran this through here, up through here, and then over, I think that may actually work. This is gonna look kind of bad, but I'm going to try this. Just see if it'll hold it in there for now. I can come back to this later. And I know they make some deals that'll go in these channels to hold it down. And I'll have a look around, see what other people are doing to hold this in. I don't think there's anything in here like that. Did find some zip ties though. Okay. I have this feeling that if it can reach clear over there, it should be able to reach wherever I need it to. Now, let's see about this. Try to leave these on here because I don't want to put too much pressure here with my arms. So I'd rather have it sit on those. Okay. So kind of hoping that a lot of these wires will be able to be run in a similar manner. Or if they'd all run in the exact same manner. I've gotten a little too excited there. Getting this out. Let's see, there we go. So, if I were to bundle all of these together to a Happy Christmas bundle, actually let's go all the way to the edge. Let's see if they'll all fit. They will. What I'm thinking may work is this. This could make things a little interesting and nicer looking. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go through here. Da, da, da. Da, da, da. Really don't hope I have to take apart anything in this, because this would be a royal pain in the butt to do after I get this all together. a second here. So just to let you know, I was just looking up really quick. Cartesian and Core XY, it shows, are separate. Cartesian being the Prusa style, Core XY being the actual cube, like the hypercube looking or whatnot with this style of belts. They both use Cartesian coordinates versus like the polar style, the polar coordinates, which I know pretty much nothing about that style of printer. I think I've seen one once online, but I know almost nothing about how the polar works. It looks like the bed spins. But just what I've always read is Cartesian is the Prusa style, and then the hypercube and the Core XY are this style here. They're very similar beasts. And then delta is, the three arms and such that I'm sure most people know what those look like, because they're just badass looking. I just know what I've been looking at, and I just looked it up online on a riprap site. They were classifying the Core XY as different than actual Cartesian. But, everybody probably has different ideas on how things work. God knows I wouldn't be able to tell you the difference between a Core XY and a hypercube. I just know that this is supposedly a Core XY printer, so beyond that, I wouldn't be able to tell you much. Almost there. At least this makes these wires look a lot less crazy. Those actually will fit in there. I don't know if it'll fit in there with all the wires or not, but empty it fits. It's 11 o'clock. I was really hoping to get this finished tonight. I don't know if I'll be able to, though. It's my daughter's 13th birthday. We'll have a teenager in the house. It is a terrifying time to contemplate that my daughter is actually going to be a teenager. And her grandparents and great-grandparents and my parents, so my wife's parents and my wife's grandparents will be here, and my parents will be here. They actually don't live very far away. where my wife's parents and grandparents live about 6 hours away in a area of Idaho called Freedom, right on the Idaho-Wyoming border. I think her grandparents are still in Lava Hot Springs over there. Yeah, I know. I am worried about the drama. I've got a son who's 15 months now, and you know what they always say, girls are troublesome when they're their teens, where she's been a pretty darn model child up to this point. So I'm actually terrified of what she turns into. And then boys, kind of the opposite, where they're harder when they're younger, and then as they get older, they're easier to deal with, which is going to be nice, because then I'll be really old when he's like this old. Okay, let's get this going. Let's see if that will just barely fit. Oops. Yeah. Thankfully, painter's tape's cheap. I swear, painter's tape's got to be one of the most versatile tools in the world. Nearly the same as duct tape, in my experience. It's like duct tape, just less sticky, which has its own advantages and disadvantages, obviously. Okay. You know what? Actually, since I'm back over here, I'm going to switch the cameras around a little bit again. That is assuming I can figure out what I did with my mouse. There we go. So let's go back over here to OBS Studio. I probably should create different scenes, make this a little bit better. So now you can see the big screen again. So what's SCARA? I've seen that term before, but I don't know what SCARA means. Okay. This is just looking super ghetto until I finally get something to cover these up with, make them look nicer. But you know what? It works for now. And ultimately speaking, I want to get some nice prints off of this machine. That's what I'm looking forward to. Okay, drawbots are no SCARA. Gotcha. See, I thought it was an arm, but I wasn't totally sure. Okay. So I know that I did some looking. I was looking for that because I'd seen the term. I thought it was a robot arm, and then I did some digging in it and could not find anything. So then I just thought I was crazy. So I'm glad to hear that I wasn't crazy. Oh, and we go back over again. This thing is a beast. Holy cow. Okay. Now we're back on the bottom again. So nothing's too special here. This is just the cables from above. Let's see. So this is going to be... let's see. Heat bed, fan. So... print head temperature sensor is H sensor. H sensor, so that goes on top. Unfortunately, one thing that's a little discombobulating is I'm looking at the board like this, but the board is mounted like this. So the board's mounted upside down to what I'm looking at. That always makes things that much more exciting and fun. Okay, heat bed. Hey, these already came pre-trimmed. That's pretty awesome. Makes my life easier. Ah, that's why they gave me a little screwdriver. Oh wait, I want to put that there. I want to put it... So power's going to go there, and the heat bed here. Wait a second, is that cracked? Oh, that's the heat bed it showed me there. So, oh, that's what I was looking for. There's the control. The control will go there. Wait, this isn't the heat bed. What am I thinking? This is the print head. Wow, my brain is starting to go. It's getting a little late at night. Oh, there's the spot. That. There we go. Yeah, I know that one thing I'd like to do is just do like a two-dimensional drawer. Actually, what really kind of tipped me over into 3D printing was really early this year. My daughter went to a STEM. It's more than a workshop. It was at the local university, and it was basically scattered over the campus, a bunch of different STEM activities. And I work for a local PBS station, Idaho Public Television, and we had a booth there. So I was going there taking some photos of it, and then taking my daughter around. And right next to our booth was one of the Boise State colleges, and or clubs, and they were showing off a 3D printer in vase mode, which was really kind of cool because that was like I think that was the first time I've ever seen a 3D printer in action. And then next to it, they had a drawing bot, and it was just basically XY. It didn't go up and down. And my daughter loves volleyball, so the guy asked her if she wanted a picture, and she said, "Yeah, volleyball." And she still actually has that hanging on her wall. I'd really like to build a drawing printer like that someday. I think that'd be kind of fun because I now basically have the tools. I just need to buy the stepper motor and the ramps board or whatever to do that. And of course, I think it'd be fun to retrofit my tarantula at some point and actually put a laser on it, do some real light laser cutting with that. Because, let's face it, who doesn't want to play with lasers? course, that may be a guy thing. I don't know. But as a guy, I think lasers are cool. So this is showing an LED strip, so I think I can actually mount an LED directly with this. So the one thing, I'm not going to hook up the heat bed just yet. I will be soon. But I just kind of want to get this working first and making sure it works. You know, things move and everything like that before I move on to installing the heat bed. Yeah, I can't blame you for for liking your desk and not putting a laser on. If it goes a little far, that could be kind of bad for you, for your poor desk. You know what? I just realized I messed up. This is gonna suck, though. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. Just realized, because I've got a part cooling fan and the hot end fan, but I really question whether either of these have cables that are remotely long enough to reach. This one might. So they might, sorry. So now I get to rewrap this. Joy. Exciting, not. Let's see if these are both about the same distance. About the same length, so that's how that's going to work. So I'll do those in a little bit. Let's see. I'm not sure. I think that's for the heat bed, and this is going to be for the board. Plus and minus. Negatives. So I'm just hooking up the power to the board here. Wow, there's not a lot of extra room there, is there? There we go. Maybe I should put those in the bottom two instead of the top two. Okay. Now I'm thinking it may be the time for a moment of truth to see if, actually, no, I have to put the ribbon on first. This is probably going to be a little fun. I've never put a ribbon on like this before, so this is kind of a new experience for me. Another new one, yay. Okay. There, that's what I'm missing. Maybe. This was easy to do on the other one. Just comes up and down, but I've got a little more more leverage I can put on that than I can on this. There we go. Okay, this should go much better. Okay. Let's try putting it in here first. There we go. Not liking how that looks. Wow, ribbon cables are not fun. Okay. Now, I better take that. Let's see if that'll stay on. Well, my tarantula I mod quite a bit. This, at least for the time being, I'm going to probably run it stock. But part of what I kind of enjoy and what I really like about the tarantula is that it is easily modifiable. Whoops, I should turn the light off. It is kind of fun to play around with the printers and just do get them to do different things that they may not have originally been set up for, whatever. That's always to me, it's kind of fun. Or mod them just to get better performance. So let's see. Hey, look at that. I'd show you, but the cameras are all facing the wrong way. But I do have, hey, look, can you hear that? Whoops. Stepper motors are trying to turn. Don't want to do that yet, because I don't have any end stops on. But it looks like this thing's powered on. So yay! You got to see power on for the first time. Well, you know, power on for with everything besides the power supply. And so I still have to put the heat bed on. I've got the non-heated bed on. I have to hook up these end stops, and I'm not sure which end stop goes where. So that one's I'm gonna have to spend some time Googling, figure out what end stop goes where and how it works. Oh, and the cooling, the part cooling fan and the hot end fans, those still have to. I have to undo all the twisting I did with that other piece and put those on. Oh, that's not going to be fun. But I can unplug this because I can say that it powers on. Looks like it powers on properly. So then I can start playing with it a little bit. I really wish that I could really express how beefy this printer is compared to my tarantula. I have I've got a 2 foot by 2 foot board under the tarantula, piece of plywood, 3/4 inch thick. And even with that board, this printer is far heavier than that. This is just one strong, beefy machine. So how did you set your LED fan up so that it cycles print info? How did you do that mod? And is it in the hardware, like your ramps hardware, or where, you know, what do you have? How do you have that set up? Or I guess I should say firmware. Ah. I'm trying to debate where I want to put these. They're 90-degree angles. So I can, like I said, I've got a bunch of other ones that I can put in too. That's kind of cool. You have a video of that anywhere that you could post? Because I'd love to see how that works. I'm just having a hard time thinking of how a fan would be a screen, unless you're just talking that you modified a fan output to a screen. It sounds like you're saying the fan is a screen. Thinking, let me stick these here, either side. What are these? These are... Yeah, that's what I want. So we'll turn this around. I'm going to put these corner pieces on and call it a night. It's starting to get close to midnight for me. I have work in the morning. That thing that almost makes enough money to allow me to do this hobby. Darn it. There we go. So those angle pieces are on. That should help strengthen this a little more. Let's see here. Trying to look at one thing. I did notice that looks like I did the X stop a little wrong. Looks like there's supposed to be a piece here. Looks like a bolt goes in here. I was just wondering if it went all the way through. I was trying to figure out how it would if it did. Looks like I put, or at least you used to. I don't know if you still do. That's what I'm trying to see. Looks like the X stop had a bolt going there, and I missed that when I put this all together, or a screw. Okay, yeah, so the old version of the instructions, it has a bolt, it looks like. The new versions do not, so this is assembled correct for that. So I think my next steps are really going to be more playing around with getting this to work right. It's going to be figuring out which in stops are where they go on the board, and then figuring out which of my stepper motor drivers are the X and Y. And I think once I've done that, I think it's ready to go. It's ready to print. So those will be the things I work on next. But like I said, it's getting close to midnight, and I think I'm going to head off for the night. So you guys have a good night. Thanks for joining in. Again, this is an East 3D Gecko Core XY style printer. My website is MakerFun3D. You can find out more about the East 3D Geckos on my site at east3d.makerfun3d.com. I created that redirect so you can see all the information on these types of printers. Again, thanks for watching and have a good night.